on this. Chefs, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be currently located. Welcome to another episode of Chef Fit Success Stories. And we've got a repeat offender on today's episode. One of my right-hand men in this group, one of the chefs who's made probably some of the biggest, the most drastic results I've seen in someone my entire time coaching and leading this thing. So we've got Alan Spierin on today. And what we're going to do is we are going to dive into this guy's story because I think it's not only is it inspiring, but it's something that a lot of chefs need to learn from and take from and understand what's possible for them. So Al, just give us, before we dive into results or anything like that, bro, just give us an indication of, and I'm sure it's difficult to remember because we spoke a year ago, more or less, first time. Like, where were you at mentally and physically 1 year ago before you started anything, before we spoke, before Chef Fit even happened?
Before I start, thanks for the intro. You're making me blush.
Oh,
my God. Well, so a year ago. So yeah, no, it's coming up to a year now. November, I think, is when I started. With Chef Fit. So a year ago, my mother had passed away. My wife had gotten sick with pulmonary embolisms in her lungs, and I had a new baby as well. So it was quite a crazy time, quite a dark time as well. Physically and mentally, it wasn't all there, to be honest. Like any chef in the kitchen, I was pick. You get to the end of the night and you'd realise that you haven't eaten that in all day. You'd order a Chinese, you'd have a couple of cans when you come home. And in my case, it was 5 or 6 cans nearly every night. And that's what really put me into what I know was a depression. But I mean, there's so many faces of depression. You don't know when someone's depressed. A lot of my friends and family wouldn't have known that I was depressed, I was really, really deep in it, and I only knew it myself that I was. It's very hard to describe the thoughts and the darkness that do be going through your head when you are in that state of mind and physical state as well.
Were you thinking at the time, was that like, right now I'm depressed and I'm in fucking rag order? Were you even registering it as that, or were you just slogging it out on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis?
You slog it out. I mean, depression, what I can only speak from is you don't know that you're depressed until you're not, that way?
Yeah.
Because you slowly drift into this stage where this is normal. You're meant to feel like this. It's very, very hard to describe until you're actually on the other side of it and you're thinking, holy shit, I was in a bad way, And I was slugging it out day to day, come in, do the job, wouldn't affect my work, wouldn't affect my social life, wouldn't affect anything until you're left in the silence and until you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself and you're alone in a room and you're thinking about everything that's going on and everything that has happened, It's very difficult for me to touch on and talk about because it really hits a lot of nerves.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I'm a very, very strong individual, you know what I mean? And I always take everything on my shoulders. But when I revert and I allow myself to think of how far I've come, I do get very emotional about it because it's a very, very scary place to come from, you know what I mean? It's a very, very dark place in your own mind that you don't want to be,
So if you think about where you were at when we had that first conversation, and I'm sure it is emotional to go to, and I can remember speaking to you for the first time, and it was the first time I think you'd been able to unload a lot of this that was on your shoulders. Obviously you're the oldest out of all, out of your siblings, and you've got a family and all of these things. And I think in your mind it was always to remain strong, but eventually the wheels start to come off and you do end up in a very, very dark space. And what makes that worse is it's probably an inability to communicate that. So we did have that conversation, and it was a powerful one. It was a very, very powerful one. And from there, you started really putting this thing back on the tracks again. Yeah. So if you think about when you joined and you made that commitment and you made that change, then what actually happened as a result of doing Chef Fit? Like, as we fast forward, you know, to look back through the journey, 3, 6, 12 months, you know, later, what were the results of doing this? What were the results of you being here?
Well, I always think of it this way, and this is the way I make it out in my own head, that a lot of my foundation, a couple of the pillars of my foundation had crumbled to nothing. I wife getting sick, mother passing away, and a lot of other stuff. So these pillars had crumbled underneath me. And the way I look at it is Chef Fit, with everything that was in it, helped me rebuild and stabilize that foundation once again so I can build on, you know? I mean, when I came into Chef Fit, you know, everybody is skeptical when I came in first, but you just said, commit to me and I'll make you a better person. And that's basically what I did. I committed 110%.
Yeah.
I went in, it's the first time I think I've alleviated anything that anybody's saying, okay, you tell me what to do, I will do it 100%. So that's what I did. Just did exactly what you said to do, and followed a nutrition plan, and mentally, physically, everything, all the above, slowly started to come out of this fog, and you start to realize, geez, you know, I feel a lot better. I have more energy. I'm more focused. I'm more organized. My work has improved. My social life has improved. My family life has improved. You know, playing with my children has improved. And my mental state has improved. Everything has improved. There's no state or frame of mind that has not improved by being in this group.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally, man. 110%. And it has been across the board for you. And it's actually probably hard to remember, you know, the initial results, because like a lot of the initial results are physical, but it's the stuff that comes after that that's great, that's even more important. Like for a lot of chefs, you might think your issue is weight, you might think your issue is, you know, if I just got me energy and me motivation back. But the reality is that's not the problem, that's just the symptom. You fix the symptoms quickly. You fix the symptom. Like we did an interview over at the end of last year after you did 4 weeks with us, and we were pretty much talking mostly about the physical. Obviously there was a bit of mental, but you had lost, you know, whatever, 10 kilos in 4 weeks. You had gotten your lifestyle back in check again, feeling better physically, and that's great. And those were results that you did get and you've sustained and built on massively. What was the change like emotionally? What was the change as a person and how you think and how you operate as you fast forward that to now?
The change is, I mean, when you're in the kitchen, this is it. Like, I mean, when you're in the kitchen and you're in a kitchen full of lads and you're just in there and you're subjected just to them, working with them, you do get very closed off from family, friends, and everything else. And you do got nearly institutionalized just to that. It's very hard. I mean, before I was a chef, I was very social. I'd be talking to people every time.
Yeah.
Then you realize sometimes it creeps in on you and you can't talk to people. You know, it's a very strange thing. But now, I mean, mentally, it's as I said, it's very, very, very hard to describe, because unless you're in the situation, as a lot of chefs are, and you don't realize you're in it, it's very hard to describe this. It is like a fog uplifted, you know. I mean, when I talked to you originally, I didn't think I was in the condition that I was. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to look good in clothes. When that started, and that started that process, and I was eating right and I was eating correctly, and we were listening to the videos and going on the round tables and the interaction with the group, your mental state completely does a 360, and it's like, you need to do this, focus on this. Like every single day I plan out my day, I have it in my diary, I plan it out today, this is what I need to do, and if I don't do it, you're all over the place. But I'm a lot more calm now. I'm a lot more focused. When I'm in the kitchen, I'm a lot more focused. I look at things in a different aspect, and I look at people in a different way as well. I used to swipe everybody with the same brush, basically. And now I look at other people's situations that they're in and sympathize with them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, the mental side of it is it's pretty mental, you know,
Okay.
without harping on and going into loads of stuff. But it's crazy. It really is. Like, I mean, you're more clear. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're not thinking silly thoughts anymore like I was. You're
Yeah.
not looking for quick fixes. You're not looking for any of that. You know what you're doing is right. I mean, you teach quite a lot of meditation as well. I try to get my meditation in 3-4 times a week and sit down and take 5 minutes for yourself, which before you'd never do.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Yeah.
And it improves your mental state tenfold. It really does.
Totally. I think with that in mind, you know, you think about these, the things that we've achieved, the changes that have happened in you. What do you put that down to? Why did it work? What was it about Chef It that basically not only got you a result, but like the result felt different and the results were different? Like, what do you put that down to? Why was that different to just kind of get into a gym alone and slogging it out by yourself? What was the difference? What was the defining thing, or things, I should say?
I mean, the way I look at it is, when you made the key, basically, and you give it to all of us and opened up a cage, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to say, because, I mean, it's it's a group of lads and ladies now that we have in this group to support everybody 100% all the time. The difference between that and going to the gym is, I've been to the gym, I've done the gym, I've got to certain points physically and gone, okay, I'm grand, this is it, I'm okay, and then you take the foot off the gas.
Yeah.
I've hit that plateau about 6 months ago on here, and as soon as I take my foot off the gas, there's always someone here to hold you accountable. There's always someone here that you can talk to. There's always someone here that'll have your back, have advice. You know, there's always someone here. Like, no matter morning, day, noon or night, you can put a message up on this group, and someone will reply to you. They'll ask you how you are, what's going on, and it's a very, I mean, it's a very, very, very powerful thing. You know, I mean, when you set out to create this, you didn't, you know, yourself, I don't think you knew it was going to explode the way it did. You know what I mean? And it's took on its own, you know, body and essence now, and it's really pushed a lot of people to extreme lengths to get where they want to go. And it's you know, it's so powerful. You know what I mean? It's very, very hard, unless you're in it, to say, like, look, this is what it is. And a lot of people would say, you know, what's this all about? I've told chefs about it before, and they think, just go to the gym. It's like, yeah, you can go to the gym, but this is a plan. This is everything you need with the gym and outside life as well. You know, it will put you, make you a better you. And that's all everybody wants in here, is to be a better you.
Yeah.
It's such a fantastic community to have. And that's the big difference, that you have this strong community in here that's looking after you. You know, it really is.
And I think with it, like the idea of that community is the environment, you know, and we talk about this all the time, and this is the shit that you can't actually see. It's very difficult to describe it in words, because it's like an invisible force. It's like something that drives you without you actually knowing that it's driving you, you know. And when you talk about being part of something, like, you're talking 60 plus chefs, you're talking, you know, all of you relate to the same thing. You're talking about me leading it and coaching it and putting structure on it and putting the direction and where everyone's going with it. Obviously, we all have our goals, but we're all looking to make massive changes. And when things get competitive and things are supportive, like, you mightn't think of that as an essential part. You might just think, yeah, well, I've got a gym membership. It's like, okay, cool. Well, why did you fucking give up after a week or two? It's because you had no one to fucking hold you accountable. It's because you had no guidance. It's because you had no one to course correct and tell you what you did wrong and show you how to improve it to get better next time. Like, because you don't have those things, you always go back and, you know, you go in circles. And I think the biggest part of it, this is something about your results that I look at Alan, who, and we'll talk about what he's doing now and what his future goals are, but like, Alan has made such drastic changes because he used the tools at his disposal. When he started off, he watched every fucking video, you know, watched every video religiously, whether that was in the group itself, in the free Chef Fit group, on the page, fucking roundtables, training, consumed everything, and became so, you know, it absorbed everything about what we do and what our culture is, into himself, and that became who he was, you know. And obviously his identity within the group then became someone who's a leader, you know, and someone who takes action and someone who embodies what we're fucking about. But the reason that it works is not only did he have this tribe and not only was there the support to push through and the motivation to drive on, but it was also his commitment to using it and being part of it. You know, that's another fucking massive thing. It's great that you have this thing here, but it also requires commitment. So as we take that forward, Al, what is, now that we've gotten incredible results, we've made a life-changing transformation mentally, physically, spiritually, all of that shit. What does the future hold for you after 1 year in Sheffield? What are we working towards now comparison to last year?
Oh, we're working on something. We're working on some crazy project now. I spoke to yourself there 2 months ago, and I'm looking at the year 2023. So 2023, I'm looking at doing a bodybuilding competition. So, I know it might sound crazy to a lot of you guys out there, but it's something that I've been very passionate about for years and years and years. I've followed all the Mr. Olympias. I've followed many Irish bodybuilders as well. And I just thought to myself, well, look, I don't want to be lying on my deathbed thinking, I could have done that. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I said it to my wife. My wife said, yeah, 100%, you can do it. I contacted you, talking to you, and he said, yeah, look, you have the body frame for it. And as soon as you said it, that was it. That was the light bulbs going off everywhere. I was like, yes, we're going to do this.
Totally.
So I think we are 5 weeks into it now.
Yep.
The first program that we did do was strength program, which pretty much kicked that ass. You know what I mean? So that was fantastic. I did a personal best on the leg press. It was 350 kg leg press for 12. So quite heavy. Quite pleased with that, and now we're on to hypertrophy now this week. So, you know, diet has to be on point, and exercise, can't miss a day. Don't miss a day. Won't miss a day. I'm telling you.
And if we thought about this, if you thought about like this current goal, so just anyone that's just popped onto the video there, it's like Alan joined us a year ago. Right now, his new goal is that he's going to compete in bodybuilding. And I always implore anyone that if you have even a feeling that you want to compete and do something big, do it. Stop fucking. The only people that are going to restrict you from doing that are fucking Mongos around you who are insecure about their own shit, you know? But if you have a feeling in you that you do something, you need to go and do it. Not only should you, you have to. It's an obligation, you know? And that's my mentality, and that's what I implore everyone else to do. And if you surround yourself with people who try and say, you wouldn't be doing that, why would you be doing that? Fuck those people. You need to get away from them ASAP. Walk with the weak, you develop a limp, you know? Walk with the strong and you become one. So with Alan's goals, the question I would have here is, if I asked you 1 year ago, Alan, you know, right, when we set your goals, 1 year from now, Al, once you've achieved all these massive things physically and mentally, then you're setting yourself a goal to step on a bodybuilding stage. You know, what would you have said a year ago if I told you
that? That'd be, yeah, it's a tough one.
You laughed. You might have laughed. You might have.
I would have laughed. I mean, this came from, I mean, my initial conversation with you was, you know, I want to look good in t-shirts again. I have bitch tits, you know, and that's the truth. That's the gospel truth. Yeah, I probably would have laughed. You know what I mean? Because mentally, never mind physically, mentally, I wouldn't have been there thinking of it, you know, at all.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. It's mad. It's mental. So as we think about that, man, like for chefs who are in your position, you know, I speak to them every single day, especially the past couple of weeks. I've been talking to a lot of chefs they get the message, and a lot of their stories are so similar, you know, and it's that the industry is beating the shit out of them, pretty much beating the fuck out of them. If you can combine that with some personal stuff going on, and then you get to this point where their lives are just all over the place. Health is in the fucking shitter, confidence all over the place, no energy for personal life. No, work dominates everything, and they're getting themselves into a very negative headspace, and they know they want to change and they're looking for something. Like, what is your advice to those people when you see what you've been able to do?
Just do it. I mean, I've said it before, and plenty of live videos that I've done on this group and on the free group as well. Click on the link, do it. I mean, you put up a free trial there a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a great response with it as well. this I can express any more gratitude than I already have to this group and yourself for physically and mentally pulling me up from the depths of fucking hell, basically. You know what I mean? It is one of the best things you will ever do in your life, joining this group. It will put you on the straight and narrow. It will make you lose weight. It will make you have new friends. It will make you have a better mental state. It will make you a better you. And that's all anybody wants, is a better version of themselves. Not comparing you with him or her or the other fella. A better version of yourself. You will have more energy to play with your children. You will have more drive and work. You will be more focused. This isn't a myth. This isn't a sales pitch by any means. This is the gospel truth. 100% the gospel truth. You will be the better version of yourself that you should be. That's basically, yeah, you know, it's the truth. It's absolute truth. You will accomplish so many things in your life if you join this group. You know, I mean, there's people in here that have never run a 5K, and now we have guys in here that have just blown out a 10K the other day. There's guys in here that couldn't run.
Couldn't run around the block. Couldn't run around the fucking block.
You know what I mean? Because they had shin splints, because they were overweight, you know, because they're breathing, because they're asthma. There's guys in here that used to have an inhaler every single day that don't even use an inhaler anymore because of this program. It's incredible. It is absolutely 100% life changing, and it's the absolute gospel truth. There's no strings attached. You know, that's all I can say.
Appreciate that, bro. And I think, chefs, what you need to do is don't look at the outcome. Don't look at Alan and go, oh fuck, oh Jesus, that must be great for him. Understand that his position was as dark as it fucking gets, as hard as it gets, and under as much pressure as you could be under. And, you know, it's 1 year later and you see the end result, not only from a physical standpoint. Stop seeing it as just physical. It's not. It's what comes with that territory, you know, totally in a different space as just a human being in general, you know. And that came from being part of this and committing himself to the fucking long game and never giving up, you know. And that's what happens. You change your life. That's what commitment does. So just remember that, chefs, and whatever you're doing, that the time will come when you've got to make the jump and you've got to do something. I hope Chef Fit Elite is the thing that you go for when that happens. I really do, because it is your best opportunity of making a life-changing transformation. So Al, thanks a million for jumping on, bro. Really appreciate it. Chefs, that is our success story, and I will chat to you all very soon. Get in contact if you want to join the elite group. Stay safe. Peace.